Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning and giving me some great feedback for future webinars. I am super excited to introduce you guys to Teresa Harding today. Today's class is about how to be compliant, and Teresa took a lot of passion into working with doTERRA and still growing her business and being respectful to the FDA and everything that we need to uphold to. So she is a great person to listen to in this class. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn you guys over to Teresa Harding.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today. How many of you are fighting with the colds and the flus and the things that are going around this season? I caught one of those and I am on the mend. So I already have a really low voice. Sometimes I feel like despairingly like I sound like a man. Today, even more so. So those of us who have lower voices, we can bond together today. But I'm on the mend and I hope you guys are doing well this holiday season. Hope you're having a great time. I want to recommend that if you didn't see last week's Zoom call, that you go check it out, because I feel really good about it. It's something really powerful that I learned that I shared with everyone last week. So if you didn't see that one, it's about how to have the spirit of Christmas. But it isn't just about having the spirit of Christmas. It's very specific things that you can be doing that will help change it for you. So today we're going to talk about compliance. And this is kind of a two-part thing. So today we're just going to do one of these pieces. And the two parts are, number one, what are the rules? What can we say? What can't we say? What are we allowed to post on Facebook? What are we allowed to post on our blogs, on social media? Hello, what can we text to someone without getting in trouble? Okay, that was kind of a joke. But that is a different piece. We're not going to be talking about that today, because that's one where I want to take about 5 to 10 minutes to tell you what the rules are and tell you what you can and can't do. And then I want to leave a lot of time open for questions and answers, because that's one where we always get a lot of questions. That one will be coming up in the next several weeks. So if you have questions about that, things that you would like me to answer on that Zoom call, please send those in right away, because we will make sure that we include those, because I'm sure we'll have so many questions at the end that we won't have enough time to get to them all. So just be thinking about that and, be paying attention to the things that you would like to make sure that we cover on that call. All right. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to simplify the compliance. How can you teach a class? How can you talk to people? What are the things you can and can't say? Now, these are things that you can do on social media, but I have simplified this because it was complicated. And for a long time, we all kind of shut down a little bit. I was even scared to teach classes, and I've been doing this for a very long time. And I have a lot of confidence around the essential oils. I was nervous about what I could and couldn't say in the classes. I was kind of stumbling around a little bit, and I finally figured this out. I've shown some different people. We actually did a Zoom call about this a while ago, but we wanted to do one today because we're getting a lot of requests for it, number one. And number two, because we're going to record it and put it up on the website so that everyone has access to it, okay? So I'm really excited. We're just going to take 5 to 10 more minutes on this. It's really, really quick. So what I'm going to do, I have a piece of paper that I want to show you, okay? If you have a piece of paper and pencil handy, I would recommend that you get it out right now. It's going to be really simple. You're going to draw a line right down the middle, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to, on one side of these, I want you to put systems of the body. And you don't even have to know the fancy names of the systems, but some of them you do know. Respiratory, okay? Let's write down a few. Respiratory, your immune system, right? Skeletal, your neurological system. Okay. And so you can imagine a lot of the different names of the systems of the body, because you can say those. Now we know we need to shy away from saying the names of diseases, although we have been given the go-ahead that we can use the names of diseases. So if we're talking about a flu or a cold or something like that, we can do that in a class. But in general, it's best to steer away from that and say your respiratory system instead of using the word asthma, for example. And but they have said we can say that in a class, and they're giving us a little more leniency to do that. And let me help you understand why. Because some of you are thinking, well, if the FDA said we can't say that, then why are all of a sudden we're able to do more? This is what happens. doTERRA has very high standards in all regards across the board. And that goes for the oils. As we know, the oils are extremely high standard and high quality. That goes for anything that we do. They want the standard to be extremely high. So, for example, when the FDA came in and said, hey, you can't make those claims, you can't say those words, realize that what happened was the FDA said, okay, the standard is here. You can't do any of those things, and make sure you don't say these things. This is how high the standard is. doTERRA came into the distributors and said, you know what? This is where our standard is. If they said we can't say this, we're going to be even more careful. We're going to teach you how to do it like this. And I'm so grateful that they did that because, number one, it makes our job easier now. And they said that the FDA allows us to do more than we're doing, but doTERRA is smart. They realize the psychology of the situation. Because if FDA says the standard is here, and doTERRA says, okay, the standard is here, then what happens is everyone learns this standard, and then they keep slipping, and they keep slipping, and they say things they're not supposed to say, and it can get doTERRA in trouble. The last thing we want is doTERRA to get in trouble because of things that we are doing as distributors, and something gets shut down or a product gets closed out. We can't sell it until they work things out with the FDA because of some of the claims that have been made, right? So I'm so glad that doTERRA does it this way because now the standard, FDA's here, doTERRA's here. Now they're saying, okay, you can say some of these things. You can do some of this stuff. And they're still keeping the standards high. Now, even though the rules are different in different situations, for example, in a class, you can say more than you can say online. Right? What I want you to understand is that if we keep the standard high everywhere, then even when we do slip, we're still above the FDA standard. So, for example, the things I'm telling you now, I try to do this in a class. Now, if someone asks a direct question about diabetes, I am going to answer that question. But they can talk about diabetes, but I can't say, hey, for diabetes, you can use this. If they say, do these oils work for diabetes? Or what essential oils would you work for diabetes? Or would you use for diabetes? That's what I'm going to show you, okay? So you've got this list. You've got the systems of the body. And on the other side, and of course that list can get much longer. If you're not sure what they are, go look it up online. For heaven's sake, you'll get 20. There are tons and tons of these, okay? So on this side, what I want you to do is I want you to write down the, what do you call it? The words that are compliant that we can say. So for example, it soothes, it helps, it aids, it assists, okay? Some of these words are all the same. It calms, right? Okay, now I want to show you something. Oh, where did I put, here it is. Okay, there's a booklet. Now, you can't buy this booklet. We just printed it off and put it in a spiral bound. If you go on doTERRA.com, you can find the compliant list for every single product. So for example, this one starts with doTERRA A to Z chewables because it's in alphabetical order. So A to Z chewable says, contains a superfood blend that helps support. So support. So you can get ideas off that list. So they said support. And once you make this list, I'm going to show you what you do with it, and it makes it so easy. And you can even just have this list in front of you in a class, and it helps you. Thank you, Chelsea. She's amazing. Okay, so arborvitae, it says protects against environmental and seasonal threats. So protects. Now, I'm not going to keep holding up that booklet, but I'll read you some of the things that it does, okay? It protects. So it protects your immune system. AromaTouch is used in the AromaTouch. So it's used to help support. Warming, uplifting. So if you can't think of these words, look through that list, and I'm telling you, you'll find 100 as you go through, and you'll find it really quick. So massage, and like for example, it says birch. Massage into hands, back, and legs for a soothing and warming sensation after exercise. Okay, we've got those. Maintains healthy circulation. So maintains. Look for all of those words. Now look, in just less than 5 minutes, look at this long list that we have. You could do the same thing with the systems of the body, okay? Now, all you have to do is use these in a sentence. So, and actually I should have done it the opposite way around, because you're usually gonna say, Oh, it's very soothing to the respiratory system. It helps support the respiratory system. It helps protect the respiratory system. What if you're talking about the skeletal system? What if someone says, well, my husband has a broken bone and it's never healed properly? Oh my goodness, there are essential oils that totally help with that system of the body. Do you see how easy that is? You can say, oh, helichrysum and frankincense are essential oils that help support the healing that you're trying to do. Okay, like for example, and always use, what the doctors are trying to do to help you. It helps support what the goals that the doctors are trying to accomplish. It helps support your health goals. You can always turn it to a generic thing, even though you see how you're still able to be very specific about their issue. So if someone says, so what about asthma? What do I do for asthma? I say, oh my goodness, there's an essential oil called Breathe that totally helps support the respiratory system of the body. Try that one. You're going to love what it does to help you. So see how it's weird because I can't say, oh my goodness, essential oils, Breathe totally cures asthma. I can't say that anymore, even though I didn't really say that before, but we've said it a lot stronger back then, and we almost feel sometimes like we can't say it strongly anymore. But do you see how strong that is? You can make it very, very strong by doing this. So I want to challenge you to make a list. In fact, switch them around. So put the soothing, protecting words on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I want you to put respiratory system, immune system, all the names of the system, and we are going to do a drawing. Everyone who submits one of these, I want you to make it as inclusive as you possibly can. So we're going to do two things. We're going to have a prize. We're going to have a grand prize for the person whose list is the longest, okay? Whoever can submit a list that has the most on their list, then you're going to get the grand prize. And we're going to have 3 other prizes, first, second, and third prize. Out of those will just be a drawing. So everyone who submits their list is going to get, they're going to be added into this drawing. And let's see, what else do I need to tell you about that? We'll send you your prize. We'll announce it. We'll make sure that we announce Chelsea, where should we announce the winners?
Let's do it on
Come on
social
over
media. So let's go ahead and announce it on Facebook and Instagram. Do you want them to submit their list on Facebook or Instagram? We can make a post.
Well, I don't want to submit the list where other people can see it because then other people could take their ideas and add to their list.
Email us.
So probably you're going to need to send it to an email. Which email would you prefer?
Teresa Harding at Gmail.
Okay. Teresa Harding at gmail.com. That's spelled Teresaharding at Gmail. Okay. Come in all the way, you silly.
Hi.
So what we're going to do is we're going to collect all of these, and then we're going to combine them into one single list, and we're going to make it available on my website so that everybody has the list of everything.
I don't want to wait. I'm not very patient. So let's announce the winner on Friday. Okay, so have your list in by Thursday. That gives you 2 days, but as you saw how Teresa went through that so fast, I think you can do it.
Okay, and I'm going to add one more thing, Chelsea. This is going to make it more complicated for her.
Oh.
But she's good at this. I'm going to add one more thing. Everyone who gets other people to submit, so if you were on this call, that doesn't count. Like if, let's say you're on this call and you've got 5 of your leaders on this call. Those 5 leaders don't count as you going out to get other people to submit, okay? Because they're already on the call. But if you are on the call, and then you're the only one who has a chance to win this prize, and it will be one of the kits. It will be one of the, either the family physician kit or bigger, okay? The person that's gonna win this prize is the person who gets most people from their team or anywhere to submit submit one of these lists. But what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to email us. So for example, let's say you're Jennifer, and Jennifer, you get 100 people from your team to submit this list. You've got to write your name. You've got to have the list of the 100 people who you had submit, because that way we can verify and check it against our records. We can make sure that those names were not on this Zoom call and that you got them to submit. So we really want tons of submissions to make this easy for everyone. So go out there, get your people to submit a list. And then remember, you're in the drawing for the prize, whether or not your list is short or long. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have 5 hours to figure this out. Just take 5 minutes if you need. Okay, have a great day, you guys. Have a good week.
Awesome.